let's talk finances for a second. Well, if you're new and brand new, I mean by that, to the world of finances, that is basically what you need to be doing with the money that you're making currently. And if you've just started working and you've just started earning, this is the correct and perfect spot for you. Firstly, let's get down to the basics and understand why is it so important to save money. Why are people really fussing about the fact that you need to save money, you need to invest money, you need to do something with your money? And that is not just because you might encounter a medical emergency or you might just have some sort of an emergency where you need the extra fund, but overall just that you're looking out for your future self. You need to have minimum, if you're renting and if you're paying your own bills, if you're doing your own groceries, minimum I would say you need to have 3 months worth of your rent, your groceries and your needs in your savings, just so that you can live comfortably and you've covered your future self, so that you're not stressing out when the time comes. And in case if there is a situation where you probably were to lose a job or something, you at least know that you're set for the next 3 months, so it's not that instant. Like, you don't have that anxiety where you don't have the anxiety and stress as to where the money's going to come from, how are you going to pay your bills, utilities, how are you going to manage groceries and all of that. So you at least have your needs, your wants covered. As a beginner, now let's understand what are the best ways to start saving money. Let's start with the basics again. You have to set a clear goal when it comes to why is it that you actually want to save money. What do you need the money for? It's going to be for your medical emergency. It's going to be for any sort of an emergency. It can be for your car, your future car that you're looking to buy. It can be for your future house that you're looking to buy, that vacation that you want to go to. You need to understand what it is and why it is that you're looking to save money. And having clear defined goals is just going to help you be consistent with your saving money, so that at least you have a goal. I need to take that trip in October and this month is January, so I need to start saving for that trip, and by the time I am in October, I'm going to have enough money that I can actually comfortably go for that trip. Now again, how are you going to actually start saving money? We're going to get in a little deeper. You're going to track your monthly expenses. Yes, you of course have expenses, and sometimes just because you're new to this and you haven't really tried the whole saving and investing fiasco yet, you are going to get there very soon. So don't be very negligent with your money. You're going to actually cap your monthly expenses, and you're going to keep a track of your monthly expenses as to what it is that you can actually cut down on, so you understand that this is just unwarranted. Like, you can make coffee at home. If you're just starting out, you don't really need to go out to Starbucks and get coffee every single day. That's absolutely not necessary. Unless if that's something that you want and you can afford, great, go ahead. But if there are some expenses that you can cut down on, because those cut down expenses can then be added on to the things that you actually want to save for, the important things that actually matter to you. Again, when you do get your income, that monthly income comes to you, what you're going to do is you're going to use the strategy of paying yourself first. That is basically having all of your savings covered, all of your bills, utilities and needs covered, and then that excess amount, you can split that up again, and you can put that in investing, or if you want to splurge, you want to buy something nice for yourself, go ahead and do that, because now you've done the majority chunk. The income has been segregated in various different areas of your life, so that's completely fine if you want to go and buy that dress, buy that bag, whatever it is that you want to buy. And to reduce the intellectual load when it comes to actually transferring money from your checking account to your savings account and actually having a whole savings situation going on, what you're going to do is you're going to do that one time. You're going to set an automated system that transfers particular chunk of money from your checking account to your savings account every single month without you having to manually do anything. It just automatically transfers the money over, and your savings is, it's perfect. You're gaining interest on that. It's sitting in the bank, it's right there, it's accessible to you. So you've just actually made it very simple for yourself. Now again, with various bank accounts, with various banks and cards, there are a lot of cashback offers, a lot of rewards, a lot of discounts that you might get, or you might have different kind of benefits to those. Make sure you use them. Of course, make sure you use them, make the most out of that card, actually understand what your bank account is like, understand what that bank account is all about, what kind of benefits come along with that, what kind of things that the bank account has to offer, the card in specific can offer you. So just be a little bit more aware of all those things. Again, do not forget your emergency fund. Yes, that's again a part of your savings, but if something goes wrong, your car breaks down, your bike breaks down, your house has a seepage or a leakage somewhere, or something's gone wrong somewhere, you've got a medical emergency, you have that emergency fund just to cover you and just to take care of any of those future occurrences. Now, how are you going to create a realistic budget that actually suits you? And the first thing is you need to have complete understanding of what your monthly income looks like. How many side hustles do you have? What source of monthly incomes do you have? What kind of money do you make monthly? So what you're going to do here is you're going to have a good old Excel sheet where you actually simplify all of your costs. Now, for example, if you say fixed costs and variable costs, these are the two differentiations you're going to have throughout every single month whenever you do get paid. So your fixed cost is going to be your rent, your utilities, your bills, and your groceries. Now again, groceries can be included in a variable situation, but groceries is something that is an essential, so I'm just putting that in a fixed cost, but you can obviously move that around. And variables again mean your entertainment. If you want to buy something extra, you're shopping, you're going out, you're parties and whatnot that you go to, so all of that is variable because that's something that's not fixed, that's something that's very occasional, and you know what, you just do that for yourself. So at least now that you have these simple basic categories in place, you know exactly where your money is going. How much you make should be on the top, and where all that goes should be just filled into these columns. Now again, if you're very serious about saving and actually tracking your budget and setting a goal and reaching that goal every single month, what you're going to do is you're going to set a cap limit to all of these items. Now when it comes to the fixed cost, of course you may not be able to set up a cap for your bills, for your rent and all of that, because that's kind of going to be in a bracket, in a range which is already fixed. So you know what, there's nothing much you can do about that. But for your variables, yes, you can cap that, and you can have like a spending limit, as in the sense that, you know what, if your parents were to give you a pocket money every single month and be like, you know what, I give you 3,000 rupees, now you can spend that in any way fashion you want. So whether you buy a top that's like worth what, 3,000 rupees, that's fine, or you actually, you know, save it and you invest it and make more money out of it. It's completely up to you what you do with that money, but you can set caps and limits on that. Now again, you're going to prioritize your needs over wants, because we want a lot of things. We absolutely want a lot of things. Hell, I want a lot of things. But hey, we need to be smart, strategic, and we need to save up for your future self, because wants are temporary, but needs are going to be constant and consistent. So basically making sure that all of your fixed costs have been taken care of and you have enough to cover yourself for at least 3 to 6 months in the future, so that, you know what, you're not anxious when the day comes and, you know what, something does go wrong. You're not anxious, you're not worried, you've got yourself covered and you're okay. Again, just like life goals change sometimes, and just like we grow up and choices change, our budget can change too. So in case if you've got a promotion and, you know what, you feel like I can actually expand my going out budget, that's the variable budget, that's the entertainment and, you know what, hanging out with friends, parties, whatnot, please go ahead and do that. It's one life. Again, you don't have to just, you know, sit in a fixed box. Again, you can add that to your entertainment. Again, you can add all of that extra money towards your travel if you like traveling, towards any of the other accessories that you like having. Like for example, if you're a photographer, if you want to buy cameras, if you want to buy different accessories, if you want to buy something, you know, that's just materialistic, go ahead and do that. If you want to expand budgets, great. If you want to get a better place, if you want to expand budgets when it comes to your fixed cost, you want to get a better place, you want to upgrade your living space, there you go. You've got a little bit of a leeway when it comes to your rent, your bills. Of course, they're going to be higher, but now that you're making more money, you can afford that. So there you go. At this point, I don't even need to mention it, because there are a lot of budgeting apps that you can use which actually make it so easy, where you just input the data and that actually splits it up into different variables. Like there's a whole table, and you know what, you can fill all of that in. You can keep a track of all of your expenses. You can just literally go to the app store, just look at the highest rated app and get that, and you know what, use it, because that's going to be almost similar to what you were trying to do on that Excel spreadsheet that I just mentioned. And if you feel like that's a little too sophisticated and a little too complicated, please just go back to the Excel spreadsheet and just maintain the simplicity and the black and whiteness that this requires. Talk about investing for beginners. Yes, as a beginner and you just started making money, now you're of course going to want to save and invest all at the same time. So first of all, please educate yourself when it comes to investing and the basics of investment and what an investment actually means and what it's going to yield for you in the future, it's going to make your job very simple, because it's just going to give you, it's going to lay down the groundwork as to, you know what, this is good for me, that is good for me, and this is something that I can start with. Of course, some investments can be a little riskier as compared to other investments. Some investments might be a little more on the financially heavier side of things as compared to probably like investing in stock market, which has a minimum cap of like probably 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees. So you can start with that depending on how much you make every single month. But what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to educate yourself firstly as to what suits you the best, and then start in those areas. So again, investing can be a little risky. So what you're going to do is you're going to diversify your portfolio. You're not just going to put all of your eggs in one basket. That's not the right kind of strategy when it comes to investing. So you're going to probably invest small amounts in various different places. For example, if you're investing a small amount in stocks, ETFs, bonds. Now again, if you're looking at index funds, and if you've actually acquired the knowledge of what an index fund is, you're going to look at low-cost index funds, because don't forget, you're a beginner and you're just starting out, so you don't really want to panic in too much. As ETFs, now these funds track the market index and also offer a broad spectrum of exposure to the stock market with a lower fees. Again, you have to approach investments with a long-term perspective, in the sense that, you know what, you can't just be in that game, in the investing game, for like a short term where you're like, oh, I just put some money in and then you know what, okay, it rose a little bit, I got a little bit of profit, and then I took it out. You have to be investing in the sense of, you know what, I want to buy a house, a big ass 5 BHK house 10 years down the line, and you know what, I need some money at that time. So you're going to have to consistently put in money, and you're going to have to let that money stay put and not just look for short-term gains, because it's a long-term game when it comes to investing, and you have to actually let that money stay there, saturate, get the interest that it does, and with time it's obviously going to compound, and it's going to actually get a lot more as compared to what the short-term gain you're looking for. And investments also require you to be consistent. So again, you need an investment fund when it comes to investing. So you're going to have to be very consistent with your monthly expenses, and you're going to have to extract a little bit of money and put that money into your investments. Again, it's going to yield in your future. So you're again taking care of your future self, and you're looking out for yourself basically. So just be consistent with it. Again, if you're really confused about investing and you don't know how to start, you've read enough books, you've actually tried to understand it by yourself, but you just can't seem to do it, and it's not your cup of tea, it's completely fine. Please go see a financial advisor. They might be able to help you better, and you know what, they actually might guide you in the right direction of where you need to invest and what you need to do with your funds. Now, what resources are actually available for financial education and literacy? Of course, when you're starting out, you're probably going to have to, you know what, take a lot of courses, do a lot of research, read a lot of books, speak to a lot of different people, mentors, and gain a lot of knowledge and insight that is actually going to make you very financially literate and savvy, while also helping you learn some investing game, so that you know what, you can actually use that for your benefit. Basically, when it comes to financial literacy and educating yourself financially, there are a lot of courses you can take online, which are offered by Coursera, Udemy, Khan Academy, where you know what, they're going to make you so financially educated, in the sense they're going to cover all the basics. And again, it depends if you really want to get into it and understand what investing is, and different kind of bonds and mutual funds, and you know what there is an advanced level to this. This is very basic. So if you want to actually get to that advanced level, of course you're going to have to take courses, you're going to have to speak to people, financial advisors, you're going to have to actually do your own research, understand what kind of niches you can go into, what it is that you're really looking to do with your money, depending on how much money you make. Books that I would suggest you read as a beginner is Rich Dad Poor Dad, because again, not the fact that it's just teaching you about the basics of financial literacy and education, but it's also helping you shift your mindset about money, because that's equally as important, if not more, when it comes to, you know what, how you actually feel about money, how you think about money, what money actually means to you. Again, there are various other books that you can read just to educate yourself. Is The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, Your Money or Your Life by Ricky Robin. Now again, you can listen to those books as audiobooks on Spotify, on Audible, anywhere you find them. So you know what, reading is not really an important thing because I don't think this generation reads that much. So you can listen to them as audiobooks, or again you can listen to podcasts. Again, podcasts you can listen to are the Dave Ramsey Show, Choose Fi, the Money Guy Show, where you know what, again they're going to give you money tips, investing tips, and everything is just for beginners, so it's not that complicated. Blogs, if you guys are into blogs and you want to, you know what, read blogs and stuff that actually give you the kind of information that you're looking for, there is NerdWallet, there is Investopedia, there's The Balance for up-to-date information and advice. Workshops and seminars you can attend where you know what, you're going to understand the real workings of financial advice that you hear online and that you read. So you know what, you can actually see people who have been doing this and implementing that advice in their daily life, and you know what, you can learn from them. You can do that also in a group setting, so it kind of makes it a bit more comfortable when you don't really understand something, so you can, you know what, understand that whole particular situation a lot more better. And again, there are government resources depending on where you live. Please follow government resources when it comes to financial advice, information, just up-to-date information. Now, this is a little advanced when it comes to just beginners and financial advice. If you really want to build credit, which is going to be essential for your future, so I'm just going to give you the basics of building a credit score and why it's so important and essential to actually have a good credit score. To make important purchases, like for example, if you're looking to buy a house in the future for yourself, you need a good credit score. Yes, and that credit score can be built in various fashions. First of all, you need a credit card for that, so you need that, and you need a history of having used that card. What I would suggest is you utilize your credit card as your main card while having your debit card as a backup. So if you're using your credit card for, say, your fixed items every single month, and you know what, you're using your credit card basically everywhere, that's obviously going to add to your credit score, but it's again important as to how and when you pay back on that credit card. Every bank has different areas. I mean, every bank has different specifics into which they say that, okay, if you paid before the due date, you're gonna get a good credit, like you see your credit score increasing. Some banks have this weird specific where they're like, if you pay the balance way before the due date, they probably might negatively affect your credit score, because that's the whole point, that they want to get interest and that's not contributing towards them. So you have to be very specific into as to when you're getting into this. You need to read up a lot on your bank, you need to read up a lot on the kind of credit card you're getting. All the rules and regulations obviously need to be in place so that you know what, you understand what you're getting into. And when it comes to the basics of building a credit score, it's going to happen automatically. You don't need to do anything consciously, but you need to make sure that you're using your credit card and paying your bills on time. When it comes to paying your bills on time, yes, that also affects your credit score. If you have pending balance on your credit card, if you haven't paid that in time, that probably may negatively affect your credit score. So I would suggest just set up an automatic payment method that actually just transfers the money automatically every month into that credit account, and there you go. You don't have to worry about it, think about it, and your credit score is already increasing. You can monitor your credit report from Aquarian, TransUnion. There are various apps actually, or Annual Credit Report is one where you can just, you know what, type that into Google and access a free credit report. It's going to actually make you understand what kind of a credit history, what kind of credit score you're building towards, and how much you need to be able to probably, for example, buy a house. What's the kind of credit history that you're looking for, and if you've got any negative credit, if there are any discrepancies, if there are some, you know, inaccuracies, whatever it is, you can figure that out. Again, when I said please use your credit card, as a beginner, you're going to be so tempted to use a credit card everywhere you go, because it depends on the limit, of course, but you can just swipe it anywhere, use it anywhere. But what you're going to do is you're going to use it cautiously, because you need to have this end goal in mind. You're looking to build your credit score and you're not really just looking to spend money. So you're going to spend on small purchases every month, and you're going to make sure you pay all of those small purchases every month before the due date, or please read the specifics for the card that you have in the bank that you know, signed with. So do all of that, do the due diligence on your bit and pay that in time, because that's obviously going to improve your credit score. You're going to have a good credit history. Also, just like on a side note, don't apply for too many credit accounts immediately once you started using one credit account and you know what, you're building a credit score on this, because what that's going to do is that's going to lead to an inquiry on your credit score, which may or may not affect the credit score itself. So just as a safe side, don't do that and just maintain the one that you already have. Having said that, we come to the end of this brilliant video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you're going to take into consideration all of the tips and tricks that you learned here. And this is just for beginners, of course. There's a very, very extremely advanced level to this. But if you're a beginner, if you're looking to just, dive and swim into the depth of financial education, this video might just be the thing for you. So I hope you took notes, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'm gonna see you in my next one. Till then, take care and bye.
On top of me, money on top of her. Money on top of me, money on top of her. Daddy fuck with me 'cause you know I'm